How's it going, guys? It's Burgas here and welcome to another Call of Dragons video. Today we're going to talk about the Vardun and how Vardun is dangerous but for the wrong reason. Now most players are looking at the wrong things right now in Call of Dragons. One of the weird things about the new heroes in Call of Dragons is how fast players judge them by the damage. Big number appear, animation look insane, and suddenly everyone think they understand the hero. But Vardun is strange because the damage might not be even be the most dangerous part of this hero. Now, if you didn't watch my previous video, this is Vardun. I'm not going to go that much in detail about the skills. Everybody who can have access to Vardun can see what he actually do. But I think the players is looking over this hero just for the rage skill. This is something that we learn from playing Call of Dragons, is we're checking out how the main skill is doing, and rest is something like a little extra boost over the hero. But the damage here is actually a bite. Most players will see AoE and think this is a nuke hero, and to be fair, you can have always a AoE. You have basically one rune that is a single target, and this is thunder. It can go like 2k, but the rest of the runes is hitting 3 targets. The fire is hitting 3 targets, the quick is hitting 3 targets. Every troop you're hitting, you have chance for the first 2 to hit the single target, basically cavalry or donkeys, and infantry you have a chance to hit a single target, or you can hit also with AoE target. But this is not actually the thing is, but this is something that majority of the players are looking for. This is a nuke hero, and this is a surface level read, and this is one of the reasons why I'm making those videos. I really want to share in deep what I think over this hero, and just so players can understand and read this hero a little more deeper, because we're not only just a damage that this hero is doing. Now the deeper read is that Vardun, it turns target selection into weapon, and if your alliance targets the wrong troop type, you may waste a strongest part of the hero. Here we're actually talking about something global for your alliance. We're not talking about just for you. Something that happened back in the days with Kuma. With this gameplay, Kuma was providing where you can use this storm arrow. You can blink and catch like fish. Like fishnet, the enemy mages and marksmen. I think we're witnessing something that it may actually happen here also. For a Vardun, is actually the target selection is going to be what may have some very solid influence over the battlefield. Still, I don't believe it's going to be crazy influence, but for sure it's going to get influence over the infantry. Now, this is not a solo problem anymore. Casual players will use a Vardun for reports, and I think everybody is actually going to use Vardun for reports. At the end of the day, you're on the battlefield also to earn merits, but Strong Alliance will use him for raw suppression. That difference is massive. This hero rewards coordination more than individual skill. If you have like 20 people with Vardun, or create some Vardun build for your alliance, and target infantry, you can just say everybody target the infantry, and with this 40% infantry defense reduction, having Kantaman with this crazy defense penetration and passive defense penetration, I think you're going to just destroy infantry on the battlefield. And if you do it coordinated and everybody focus over the infantry, not chasing the mages, because to be fair, lately I'm chasing the mages. I don't care about the infantry, I chase the mages. Mages are more squishy, mages are giving more merits. I do more damage to the mages and marksmen, not the infantry. Sometimes the amount of counterattack I'm receiving from infantry is like 2 to 1 from my damage, which is crazy because this is just from counterattack, so you know. But I believe with Vardun, some alliances may actually create this strategy for killing infantry. I'm not going to say something about the cavalry because this is like not many times you're going to see cavalry play, but still HP reduction is also absolutely wild amount. I'm not going to say the magic hero skill damage reduction 40%. Wait, what? This is also can have huge influence on the battlefield because it's for 10 seconds. You get hero skill damage 40% for 10 seconds. Now the marksman is also huge. I mean, this is what is crazy about the new heroes. I believe is having a potential to change or build alliance strategy. Now, why targeting archers may become more important than killing infantry? Now, most players instinctively hit the front line first, and I do it, you do it, everybody do it. Infantry is close, infantry is more safe decision, just because you're not entering in some dangerous water where the infantry can do a blink, catch your mages, or the enemy mages can actually hit you at the end of the day. So, but Verdun creates a different question. Who is actually winning the fight for the enemy? If archers are carrying the damage, reducing their normal attack pressure may protect your whole front lines. Sometimes the best target is not the closest target. And I'm giving just an example with marksmen with a 40% attack damage reduction because lately we get some boost for the marksmen. But this is applying for everything in general. Maybe not for cavalry because people are sending again the cavalry, just throw cavalry bomb and that's all. Till the troops that are used on the battlefield are mages, marksmen, and infantry at the end of the day. So it strongly depends to what is the main power of the enemy alliance. You can basically build a strategy with your alliance around this and start hitting those legions, because hitting marksmen from the runes is always going to be AoE. It's going to be fire or quick rune, which is fire is the legion in tune early, and quick is 3 enemy legions in forward a rectangle. It didn't actually matter that much over the damage, but you can basically influence 3 legions to do less damage. And I believe we may start seeing some strategy evolution from the alliances. I really didn't sit and think over what kind of strategy can be built, but I see a potential here as a ex-officer at the end of the day. Now, why mage suppression could decide big fights? Mage fights are usually decided by pressure stacking. If Vardun reduce enemy skill damage, your alliance is not just trading better, you are lowering the enemy ability to snowball. And this is about this 40% hero skill damage. Now, I have some reports. At the end of the day, I actually have just one report, to be fair. This is from Pretagia, and I'm going to check it out. Oh my god, look at this thing. This is a AoE damage, by the way. Just want to mention that. This is AoE damage, and as you can see how much more damage this bad boy did to the mages. Now, infantry are still going to do some counterattack, but brother, the mages get destroyed. Look at this thing. Even enemy Vardun with Kantaman. It's just crazy how much damage. 000. And again, the main reason behind is just because of the way this hero, how to say it, the way this hero is fighting against mages and marksmen, and that he's always a AoE damage dealers against them. And this is going to reduce the output of the mages, and we know that the mages is actually, you know, pushing the fights, because the mages are very far, safe distance, and doing some crazy amount of damage. Not that much the marksmen, and I believe if you reduce or hit as many mages as you can with your Vardun and Kantaman, you're going to help by what your alliance. At least your infantry is going to receive less amount of damage. Now, what is the false signal is big reports make players stupid. If you can take one thing from Cow Giants is big reports are making players stupid. Damage screenshots distort how players judge the heroes. Vardun play may look strong where using him badly. Now here is the thing about this bad boy. I show you one report. It's actually a good report at the end of the day. It's like 24k. Severely wounded, 163k. We saw some crazy amount of damage, but if I go and maybe check it out one of the fights of this bad boy, this hero is awakened 6-star. Kantaman is awakened 6-star. Here he didn't even trigger any of his spells, by the way. Maybe here. It's like commander damage, you see the Kantaman damage, everything is awakened. The pet is massive, brother. Look at this thing. I'm going to just remove myself for a second. Look at this thing. This is like 3-star. I know how it happened to be 3-star. This is like 3-star. This is like 3-star. Or maybe this is in Battle of Abyss. I'm not like 100% sure. This is like 3-star. You have also the Doomstar, like 3-star. Again, I'm not quite sure about it, because it can be from Battle of Abyss. If you go and check it out, let me just bring back my face here. In Battle of Abyss, you can basically test the new heroes. This is like 2 from 2, I guess level 60, like 6 stars. And here the heroes are probably fully awakened. So, you know, maybe the pet is actually, yeah, the pet, yeah, this is from Battle of Abyss, to be fair. I'm going to grab and create more reports, because I didn't know I can try out the new heroes. So I'm going to try to build some more reports for you guys with Maxed Legion, but at the end of the day, it's just looking absolutely wild, and some crazy reports can be done. But this still isn't the biggest problem. The dangerous part starts when organized alliance understand the pattern. They stop asking who can we kill, they start asking which enemy rule do we disable first. Now this may sound crazy, but I think we're actually going in this direction. Which enemy role do we want to disable first? And the completely change, and this is going to completely change the large scale PvP. And by role is going to be, again, majority is going to be infantry mages, and the alliance is going to try to think over which role should they go for. Should they try to catch mages and marksmen, or should they just destroy the infantry? But anyway, I'm not going to make this video more longer. Just want to give my 2 cents over Vardun, one of the new heroes in Call of Dragons, and what kind of influence this hero can have over total alliance performance on the battlefield, also for your personal reports. Don't forget to hit one like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more Call of Dragons video, become a member if you want to support my channel. Wish you a great day, and see you in the next video.